morning. Let's start today's session. So, boundary conditions. This is very important. Why? Because at the end of this modules, we'll study electromagnetic wave generation. We are going on to that. So, this is an EM source or electromagnetic source. So, it will generate electromagnetic waves like that, which propagates from that point to infinitely, right? So while it is traveling, so all the medias, BSNL, all the cellular medias are utilizing this principle. So while traveling in this direction, there will be obstacles or hindrance. Let this be one medium which is different, a dielectric one, I would say. Dielectric 1, this is another dielectric, say dielectric 2. So how this electromagnetic waves interact with this medium, new medium, is a matter of fact. Why? Because how it behaves will help us to understand how this wave will propagate and all. So this media boundaries are very important. These boundaries are very important. Why? Because we have to study or analyze how the electromagnetic waves behaves as it transfers through these mediums, right? So that is why boundary condition study is important. So we will analyze it in two ways. One, we study electrostatic fields effect on boundary condition. Then we will study magnetostatic fields on this field condition. So we will study these two things separately, right? So this is an example. So this is boundary condition in electric field is what we are going to study first. If the field exists in a region consists of two media, the condition that the field must satisfy the interface of separating media is called boundary condition. So first we assume that these two things are two dielectrics, and in the second thing we will study one dielectric and one conductor. Like that we'll proceed. So we have to utilize two Maxwell's equations. First one is line integral of E dot dl equal to 0 and surface integral of D dot ds equal to q. This is nothing but Gauss law. This is actually, we know that V is equal to E into L or length. So if you take potential between 2 points A, B, then we'll get a voltage. Then if we make it a closed one, VAB you will get, also VBA you have to calculate. When you add these two things, this term becomes 0. That is why line integral of E dot dl equal to 0. So that is why we got that. Then this is your Gauss law. These two equations are very important. With that we are going to identify how it behaves, right? So first thing what we are doing is, let's assume that this BAD is separating media, or I will call it as a boundary. Boundary, that is something like this. This is one media, this is second medium. Between this media and this media the wave is passing. So we are going to study how the wave behaves in this particular boundary. So I have shown it like this, boundary, and this is my electromagnetic wave passing from medium 1, first medium, to second medium. This is my second E2 dielectric. Both I am considering to be dielectric. So this is also a dielectric having permittivity epsilon 2, and this is another dielectric having permittivity epsilon 1. So this waveform, or this electromagnetic wave electric field I specify, electric field alone I am specifying. So this is passing from first medium to second medium. So I can split it up, like this is the tangential component, this is the normal component. This can be also written over here. This is your E normal, this is your tangential. So E can be split into ET plus EN. This is what is written over here. E can be written as ET plus EN. Also we know that what is D stands for epsilon into E. So D can also be split into DT plus DN, right? These two things you should know. Let's see how. We will analyze tangential and normal components separately. Then this is the figure in a modified way. This one. This is what we have done. Let instead of E both sides, we will call E1 and E2. I'll draw once again. This is the field you are having, I mean boundary you are having, and let this be E2 and let this be E1, right? Sorry. Okay, so this is E1, I would say. So this is divided into two parts. This is E1 tangential. This is E1 normal. This is E2 normal. This is E2 tangential. That is shown over here. This is my E2. This is its normal component. This is its tangential component. This is E1. This is its normal component. This is its tangential component. Clear? Now I have assumed a Gaussian surface like this. This is a Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface. Right? So let the width be delta W and height be delta H, right? Then epsilon 1 equal to epsilon 0 and epsilon r, epsilon 2 equal to epsilon 0 and epsilon r2. E1 is a field in media 1, E2 is a field in media 2. So how can I write E1? E1 is equal to E1t plus E1n, E2 equal to E2t plus E2n. So now we are going to use this equation, that is what? So line integral of E dot dl equal to 0, which I have already mentioned, the standard equation for boundary condition. Now we are going to apply. We have to move from A to B, B to this center point to, I would say this is X and this is Y. So AB, BX, XC and like that back to A. So from A to B. So from A to B the width is delta W, right? That is the length. So we have to write E into length we have to write. So for the region AB the width is delta W. Width is delta W. Then the electric field parallel to that region is E1t, right? So I have to write E1t, right? And both these directions are same, so I should give a plus sign. Then next I will go to BX region. In BX region, what will be your height? Total height is delta H, so this much height is delta H by 2. Delta H by 2. Then parallel to this region, which is our, this is the normal, right? So this normal becomes parallel to it, that is E1n. But this is going up and this is going down, so this should be negative. Clear? Then we'll see XC. So XC we have again the remaining delta H by 2. So delta H by 2, again E1n with a negative symbol. Then XC afterwards CD, right? So CD is on the second, oh, sorry I made a mistake. Over this region we have moved on to second media, so instead of E1n, E2n we have to write. E2n is E2n. This is going down, this is going up, so again negative. So between C to D, this is E2t you have to write. So E2t delta W you have to write. And C to D are we moving, and this is it towards this direction. So we have to put a negative sign D. Then D2x again in the second media we are standing. So d2x, the height is delta h by 2, delta h by 2, and the electric field is E2n, E2n. So polarity, it's going up, so you should give a plus. Then xa, the remaining xa, your height is delta h by 2, and you are in medium 1, so E1n you have to write, and these two things are of same directions, so put a positive sign. So this is the closed loop path ABCD we have taken. We have taken the line integral of E dot dl. Next is for calculating this line integral of E dot dl equal to 0. So integration is nothing but summation. So we have to add all these things, assuming the fact that delta h is tending to 0. That means we are going to shrink this into this boundary, right, into this boundary. This Gaussian surface, we are going to shrink it to this boundary. So what happens? Delta h will shrink to 0. We have to take delta h to be 0. So this cancels, this cancels, this cancels, this cancels. So what is the resultant? E1t delta w minus E2t delta w. See, as delta h tends to 0, you will get E1t delta w minus E2 delta w equal to 0, or we can say E1t delta w equal to E2t delta w. That means E1t equal to E2t. These two things will get cancelled. That means the tangential component of E are same on both sides. That is, ET is continuous across the boundary. That is the first conclusion we are going to get. Next, we know what is D is equal to epsilon E, right? Which is dt plus dn. So we can write what instead of E1t. So what is E1t into epsilon 1 equal to D1t, right? So what is E1t? Substitute with that of this term. So E1t equal to D1t by epsilon. So instead of this term, put D1t by epsilon 1, and instead of E2t, you have to write D2t by epsilon t. So when you write this thing, you can see that dt is said to be discontinuous across the boundary. Clear? So first E1t, tangential component of E is continuous, whereas tangential component of D is discontinuous across the boundary. Next, we will use second relation to find out the normal component relation. That is, we know what is Gauss law. Q is equal to psi, or I would say surface integral of d dot ds equal to volume integral of rho v dv. So instead of E1 and E2, I have to find out D1 and D2, which is crossing across media 1 and media 2. Let this be D1, this is D2, both are flowing in this direction. The second media to first media. We are splitting it into tangential component and normal component. Over here, normal component and tangential component. Then instead of line integral, earlier we have dealt with line integral of E dot dl, right? So we have assumed a line from A coming back to A, line integral. Here we are talking about surface integral. So we have to assume a Pillbos Gaussian surface like this, right? So this is a cylinder kind of surface like this. Then we know though, instead of this volume integral, we have to equate this to surface integral of rho s ds. This is surface integral of d dot ds. Also we need d dot ds. A dot b equal to ab cos, like that d dot ds equal to d into delta s into cos theta. When you closely look into this, if you have a surface like this, and if this is D, then the normal to the surface is delta S, then what would be theta? will be equal to 0. So d dot ds equal to d into delta s. But on this side, you have already d in this direction. It is default because the electric field is moving from bottom to top. So but the surface normal to this side surface is like this, so the angle will be 90 and d dot ds will be equal to 0 in this region. So we'll come to equation. Surface integral of d dot ds equal to q enclosed. Here we have assumed a surface of charge, so volume integral, instead of volume integral we have to use surface integral of rho s ds. So rho s ds equal to, instead of this term we should write d1 delta s minus d2 delta s, because this is a normal component, normal d1 n. This over here, this is second media d2 n, and delta s over here delta s, both delta s are there. So d1 delta s minus d2 delta s, right? And the tangential, so what you are getting is delta s and this common delta s cancels, and you'll get d1n minus d2n equal to rho s. See, the only the normal component exists. Why? Because theta equal to 0. All the tangential components will get to 0. Right, so d1n minus d2n equal to rho s. So if there is no charge means rho s equal to 0, that means this becomes 0. So d1n equal to d2n we will get. So that means dn is continuous across the boundary. Then d can be written as epsilon e. So epsilon 1 e1n equal to epsilon 2 e2n. And we can say that this is not continuous, that is this discontinuous across the boundary. So this is all about boundary conditions of